Hello, my name is Joseph Alai. Welcome to my channel, and today I'd like to talk about scripting. So scripting is one of the most powerful manifesting techniques and tools that I've ever used, and I've manifested thousands and thousands of things with it. And I've even taught you some of these techniques in prior videos, such as writing down your desires as if you've already received them. And so basically, I like to use scripting sometimes when I don't have the time to imagine, or even before I imagine in general. A lot of times I will script as well. So scripting utilizes the power of words. So in the Bible, which is where I get most of my teachings from, it says that the Word became flesh, right? So words have a lot of power in them. And if you have ever utilized the lists that I recommend to write in the daytime, listing about 5 or 10 different things as if you've already received them, then you definitely already know the power of scripting because you've definitely seen these manifestations come to pass. But what I like to talk about today is what I have, or what I do to script and what I have manifested through scripting. So I've manifested money, I've manifested relationships, I've manifested a lot of different things that I've manifested for other people as well. And it's important to understand that the way we script is the same way we go about imagining in general or manifesting in general. So we could use inner conversations, we can write things down, we can have thoughts, we can have imaginal acts where we are speaking. All of these things utilize words, but utilizing them in a systematic, very clear way is extremely powerful in getting what you want. So, and the only thing you need is to have a pen and a piece of paper. So I don't normally type my scripts, I generally write them down. And the reason I do this is because of the immersion that takes place when I'm fully writing, focusing, thinking, and reading in my mind as well as I'm writing. The power of this is basically impressing upon the subconscious mind very easily, and sometimes the first try. So when I am desiring to manifest and when I'm trying to use scripting, what I do is, as I said, since we're using the same techniques, we imagine, or actually we define what we want as if we already have received it. Now that's a critical distinction there, as I usually make, but we always want to imagine or set our intentions or impress the subconscious mind with the idea as if it's done already. Because when we do this and we plant a seed in our subconscious, then all of the ways and means to manifest that desire are fulfilled, they are in the seed itself. So we never have to worry about how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, or what's in the way, or any of the facts that this sensory world tells us that are in the way. We only need to know exactly what we want and how we would feel if we had it already and what we would be doing. So I know exactly what I want. That's exactly what I would start out by doing. So say I wanted a vacation or a girlfriend. We'll go with the girlfriend on this one. What I would do is, first of all, I would write down exactly the desire in general, right? So if it was a girlfriend, I would write that down on the piece of paper first, right? So it's basically setting the tone of exactly what I want. And after that, I would probably first, before I began scripting, is outline what I would want. So, and this is something that I've done before, and it manifested perfectly. Is outlining a girlfriend. Is I outlined exactly what I would want her to look like, what she does for a living, what her beliefs are, what type of personality she has, what type of relationship we have together. Every and any detail that would embody the perfect relationship. That's what I want to outline. And so get this. If you only did that, it would still probably manifest. There's a good chance it'll still manifest. But for clarity of form and to invoke impressing upon the subconscious mind a little bit better, scripting, or the act of scripting, can very much get you into the scene itself without ever closing your eyes and imagining. So once I outlined the scene, once I outlined what I wanted, I would construct a scene via a piece of paper as if I already had it. So there's two ways that I've gone about doing this. The first way is to journal from the future. So literally, I don't set a date, but when I'm writing, I have in mind that it's a brief period in the future. And I'm basically writing down something like this. And I've done this many times before. So first I'll write like, Dear Subconscious or Dear God, thank you so much for bringing me this woman as my partner, as my girlfriend. I'm so grateful that she has such and such hair. I'm so grateful that she has such and such eyes. We have such an amazing relationship together. I have never had a better relationship, period. And I would continue and go on over and over. I could make it a paragraph, a page, 2 pages, 5 pages. Whatever it is, as long as I always stay in the end as if it's already happened, still happening, and I'm grateful. I basically, with scripting, you can add boundaries as to what types of manifestations you want, how it's going to come. You can be very specific in nature, because instead of just closing your eyes and bringing a scene before you into your imagination and impressing the subconscious, you are slowly but surely and meticulously and deliberately specifying exactly what you want. And that's crucial in getting exactly what you want. So after I have done this, even then, so let me go back to what I do while I'm writing this down. So in my mind, generally, my most effective scripting has been while I'm writing it down, I am actually saying the words, or at least in my mind, reading them out loud slowly in my head. So it's more utilization of words, and it's more utilization of immersion and completely saturating my mind in this scene itself. And there have been times when I have been scripting that by the end, I feel as if I've been hypnotized. And one of the best times that this has happened was when I was seeking a person. Basically what I did was I wrote this thing down in past tense, and while I was writing it down, I was writing it down, and I was actually recording it slowly but surely at the same time and speaking it. So it was meticulous. I was speaking it out loud. I was writing it. I was reading it in my mind. And it was also evening. So before bed is the best time to impress the subconscious mind, because that is when the conscious, the finite analytical mind is to a minimum. And that's when the subconscious is most impressionable. And when I was done with this script, after I was done writing it and reading it, my vision was skewed, which happens when you are hypnotized. And if you're hypnotized, that means that your subconscious has been impressed. That's the perfect case scenario. And by the very next day, someone came into my life. They had manifested perfectly. So it wasn't a long-term relationship. I did not specify that. So one of the beautiful things about writing or scripting is, like I said, we can be very specific. If we have certain guidelines that we want, then we can just write them down simply. And there's no real difference between imagining and writing. And sometimes I opt for writing instead if I want to be specific, if I don't have much time to or if my mind is wandering and going crazy. Sometimes just writing itself will calm all that and immerse me fully in the scene itself. you can easily get lost in these scenes, which means that you can easily impress the subconscious mind. Because remember, in order to manifest, the only requirement is that you impress something on your subconscious mind. And in order to do that, you just shut out the senses like your sight, your hearing, all that stuff from everything that's going around you, and you replace it with your imagination. That's the for sure way to manifest exactly what you want, to impress the subconscious mind. So, and if you do it before bed, you are more likely to have your guard down, and you're more likely to allow something into the subconscious mind. So definitely test this. I tell this to a lot of my clients, and it works fabulously. So definitely test this, put it to the test, track your results, and let me know what happens. So anyway, if you like this video, please subscribe, like the video, register for my email list to get unlisted videos at sovereignmind.com, and make sure you hit the bell icon and stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.